and make sure you get something to eat, but want to be respectful of everybody's time. So with that, welcome to the 26-27 season, third year for Prairieville High School, third year for the Prairieville High School Athletic Booster Club. I'm Kyle Kinberger. I'm your Booster Club president. You know, the Booster Club's kind of been an evolution over the last couple of years. If you've been at meetings past, we say often, you know, those of us who are officers or board members or past board members, we've never started a Booster Club before, so we're kind of tweaking it as we go. So one of the things that we decided to do at the end of last year was adjust the frequency in which we meet, trying to be respectful of everybody's time and make sure that when we did meet, it was substantive. We had coaches come out, we provided a meal, just trying to make it a meaningful experience for everybody who was going to participate. So with that, this is our first meeting of the year. It's great to see a lot of new faces out here. I want to start out by thanking the folks at Mike Anderson's over there. If y'all wouldn't mind giving them a round of applause. They have been a huge partner for us since the beginning. They're back this year as a Cat 5 sponsor. They actually will be doing our first hospitality event for the first home football game. We'll do a Booster Club tailgate where Mike Anderson's will come out. They'll do char-grilled oysters, fried fish, red beans and rice, stuff like that. It's a great way to make other teams jealous. So I always try to put together an agenda for every meeting. I'm getting a reputation for running notoriously long meetings. But I promise you, even though there's a lot on here, we're going to cover it in a very quick amount of time. So if you have questions about things that we talk about tonight, please pull us, any of us, after the meeting, pull us aside. We'll answer any questions we have. You can certainly call or reach out directly. Oh, there it goes. Okay. So the first thing that I really want to do is introduce you to, actually I wanted to give y'all a visual. This is, there's a lot going on at this school, as you all know. There are 22 different sports here. There are so many things that the Booster Club does behind the scenes that if you just weren't living and breathing this school, you might not know that the Booster Club does, from cooking, and you see it all the time with the FEMA group, to just general volunteer stuff for teams and showing up, coordinating all kinds of hospitality stuff, in addition to getting the equipment and the uniforms and everything in between. And so we put together a little collage of just all the things that happened last year, and honestly, this is a fraction of it. But I wanted you to see where your dollars, where the community dollars are going. We're pumping everything back into the school and these kids, and it's just been such a fantastic, worthwhile cause. So, so with that, at the end of last year, we held an election because we had a couple of leadership positions open up, and we also had a couple of board seats open up. So this is your next 2 years, right? No, I'm sorry. This is your 26-27 leadership group. This makes up your executive board. So like I said, I'm your president, Kim Hendricks. Where you at? She's our vice president. Kathy, where's Kathy at? She's hiding from me. There she is. She's our secretary this year. Ruby Davis is our treasurer. Scott D'Antonio is our director of business operations. Anna Hillman, director of merchandising and advertising. She also does everything, all things hub. which is a massive undertaking, and she does a fantastic job with it. Your board members this year, you have Jerome Dewey, Michael Pinachero, Mark Carter. Where you at? Raise your hand, buddy. Russ, where you at? Russ Doucette. And then Kevin Tripodi. All right. Y'all can applaud. It's okay. And in all seriousness, this is a group of people, like, nobody's paid here. Everybody's here volunteering their time. They go above and beyond to meet, to serve, to try to come up with creative ways to help the school. And I really can't thank this group enough, because without them, we couldn't do any of the things that we do. All right. So moving on. One of the things we want to do is kind of bring your attention. I try to put up as many QR codes as possible. So absolutely, if you're interested in this, one of the things that we're doing to raise money is VIP parking this year for football games. There's 5 home football games this year. For Booster Club members, a VIP parking spot is $100. The school has given us the first 40 parking spaces right next to the stadium right there. So that way, if you're last minute, you're running late, you can't get there on time, it's a way for you to have a premium parking spot. We've got people working it. And all the money we raise from this, we're actually giving back to the teams who work our game day operations. So again, it just becomes another way for us to recirculate money into our teams. This is also your home, your varsity football schedule this year. So, all right, moving on. Anybody need me to wait? No? You good? Okay. Like I said, the Hurricane Hub is a huge undertaking. So I know Anna said that she's got volunteers and she's got plenty of help, but honestly, she could always use more help, I promise you. The Hurricane Hub probably is going to do probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 20 or 30 different like pop-ups and showing up for teams, doing things like this in addition to what they're doing at the hub. I can promise you it's like a full-time job. And I love the Hurricane Hub because when people pass by, again, another point of pride for us. It's a beautiful shop. If you haven't been back there, it's in between the baseball and softball fields in the back of the field house right there. Tons of merchandise. That is a small showing of what it is. But if you are interested in volunteering, you can hit that QR code and Anna will be the one to be in touch with you. All right. Okay. So if you are here just for a free meal, then, yep, I see you. We would love for you to join. I had a conversation with Miss Mancuso, and one of the things we were talking about is Prairieville High School this year will knock on the door of 2,000 students. Next year, with the incoming freshman class, they will easily go over 2,000 students. And I say that because for us to function at a high level and to be able to do what we're trying to accomplish for all these teams and every kid, it absolutely takes your support. Not just the money you would pay in memberships, but your time. If you can give your time, volunteers kind of make the world go round for this organization, and it's a worthwhile one. But these are your membership tiers, and you can come in as little as $50 to as much as $350 for like a husband-wife partnership. The QR code right there will take you where you need to be. We do everything right now through a platform called Zephy. So we're trying to make everything electronic so you can just go on, register. I put the note right there because I've had a lot of people ask, what about the credit you get? Correct me, Anna, correct me if I'm wrong. So the credit, once people sign up, takes about 2 weeks. Okay. So for those of you who couldn't hear, she gets a list every Monday, and then it's sent to the email that you have on file, and then you can take it into the hub. Right now, as far as members are concerned, Kathy, where are you at? I'm going to put you on the spot. How many active members do we have right now? It's okay. That's okay. Okay. So just to kind of give you a barometer, right? The first year we came out, we had a goal of having 300 members, and we were right at about 250. Last year, some of the lackluster or the newness kind of wore off, and so we hovered around 160 members. I don't think that there's any reason that this shouldn't always be a group that at least has 200, 250 members. With 22 sports here, if you had 10 parents from each sport, it pretty much gets you where you need to be. And so if you are part of a sport and people are not involved in the Booster Club, let them know. Tell them to come to a meeting so they can hear about what's going on. Because I think a lot of what people are missing and we're trying to change is just the information about the Booster Club and what we're doing and how we're impacting each sport and ultimately each kid. So please make sure you share this information with people who are interested. Yes, sir.
I think Kathy was able to sell a couple of memberships, like the past 30 minutes or whatever, 93.
93. So 93 members, okay? Which isn't where we want to be, but it's also absolutely the start of school. And so one of the things that you obviously see when we come back to school is, man, there are a million things that people have going on that you're being asked to buy and take care of and fund and all of the things. And so I totally get it. But if you are a parent of an athlete, this is a group and an organization that directly affects your kid and ultimately might relieve some of the burden sometimes of having to fund personally some of the things it costs to be involved in a particular sport. So, okay. So like I said, each meeting we try to turn it over and have a couple of our coaches come up and speak. So we've got 3 of them with us tonight. The first one that's going to come up is a guy I really enjoy. He's always a big supporter of the Booster Club, and that's Coach Kenny Ridgedale. He is our swimming coach. Kenny, I'll tell you. You want this or are you good? Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Kyle. Appreciate it greatly.
You bet.
Hello, everyone. How y'all doing tonight? wait, let's do it again. Hello, everyone. How y'all doing tonight?
Great.
Y'all doing great?
Yes.
How about those things, huh? All right. We're excited about the swim season coming up. We will start practicing Monday. It'll be our first day that LSSA tells us we can practice, so we'll start Monday. We're excited. As you see our schedule behind us, mark Wednesday, October 7th down. That is our Ascension meet. We'll be at the Jumbo Park Pool. We will swim against all 14, PA, Santa Maria, Dutchtown, Prairieville, and also Ascension Bridge will be there. So fun meet. It's great to be at, and we love your support if you're able to come out and support us. Also mark down November 14th. November 14th here in this building this Saturday. I know LSU is playing Texas, but it was Texas or Alabama, so it was Texas. We will have our annual Donuts with Santa and Mrs. Claus. Very fun event. We really enjoyed it the first 2 years, and we're looking forward to having it again this year. And look, the kids are even better than swimmers, better than anybody else. They do a great job for us, and they're great. So come out, that'll be great for that. Any questions for the swim team? We've got 39 swimmers this year, y'all. So our biggest class is our freshman class. Our junior class. They were the first freshman class here at Prairieville High. We have 15 swimmers. So we're excited about that. We have 3 seniors, but that's okay. That should be a big difference. So we're looking forward to it. We're looking forward to a great season. We had a wonderful season last year. This year we move up from Division 2 to Division 1. A little bit higher expectations, but that's okay. It makes you better when you do that. So we're looking forward to that. So everyone, have a great school year for everyone, all your children, and go Canes.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate you, brother. Okay, next up is going to be our cross-country coach, Garrett Warren. We'll put his schedule up right here. Here you go, buddy.
Well, good evening. Thank y'all for coming out. It means a lot for us as coaches and also the Booster Club to see the support. One thing I just want to start off by saying is this is my first year coaching, stepping in as a head coach. I have already felt extremely supported. Like I just feel so supported by the Booster Club. They came out and fed us at our last practice of the summer. The FEMA crew, Russ and Greg came out there and cooked for us. And it's stuff like that. And then also we have our new jerseys the Booster Club helped supply. Take a look at them back there. Our schedule's back there as well. Things like that energize groups. You know, it's as a smaller sport cross country, it's those things right there that really go a long way. Because a lot of the kids that I've had conversations with already, they're talking about how they potentially want to run in college. That's something that they want to do. And it's little things like getting a jersey, getting fed, or buying some foam rollers or something like that that gets them excited. So it's the Booster Club that really fuels that fire for that dream for these kids. So I just want to say thank you. It means a lot to me as a coach, and I know it means tons and tons for the students. So our schedule this year, there's these back there for you to take home. But one of the things that I want to highlight and that I want to talk about to our kids, they're going to start coming to my classroom on Thursday, is we're going to be 1% better. That's going to be our goal. Just 1% better in anything that we do. And one of the things that we're going to be really focusing on is running at Highland, which is HCP. So we're going to be running there a lot for competition. Our schedule is that there is a degree that can get harder in your schedule. And so that's one thing that we're really going to be doing this year is competing against a lot of our district runners. My goal is to make it to state with guys and girls every single year. Like we need to be in the running, we need to be in the mix. We do have a lot of numbers, which gives us more opportunity for talent. This year we have 26 students, which I'm already feeling like, oh man, we might have to have a number where we cut it off, which is a great problem to have. So we're just excited about getting out there and really showcasing who we are as Prairieville. You know, this is year 3 where we talked about today in our teacher meetings of hitting our stride. And I really do believe that this year athletics is going to be hitting our stride. And lack for better words, I think cross country hopefully will also be hitting their stride as well. So we're just excited. The energy's there. We are just looking forward to the season, looking forward to making our mark and to making our team a staple in the state. So if you have any questions about anything that we're doing, our program, Coach Drake in the back, he's also helping us out. We're committed into really making this team the best that it can be. And it's through the Booster Club that allows us and fuels us to be who we are. So thank you. And if you haven't joined, please join. It fuels the energy for all of our athletes to do the best they can. So thank you.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you. Okay. I saved one of my favorites. So our next coach is Coach Andrew Ewan. She is our volleyball coach, and I can tell you of a lot of the coaches here, she has been one of the biggest advocates for the Booster Club. She goes out of her way to talk about it at every meeting she holds, every parent she talks to, and so through that kind of advocacy, like our booster club numbers grow. And so she is just somebody who, again, has been a huge supporter of the booster club since the beginning. So I'm happy that she came out to talk to us tonight. So, yep.
Good evening, everybody. So before I say anything else, I do want to say that I actually just updated our schedule, and the October 21st match against Liberty is now a home game. So thank goodness, I don't know, I think we're up to 7 now. We owed a lot of people some games, so next year people will owe us, and we'll have a whole bunch of home games next year. But I don't know if everybody realizes or not, the volleyball switch districts, where a lot of other of our programs did not. So while we still have Dutchtown, Santamont, and EA, we now have Woodlawn and Liberty Mountain. We dropped all the Livingston Parish schools, so just FYI for you if you follow volleyball. So I just, first of all, thank y'all for the invitation to be here. If I could, I don't know, say anything, y'all, I tell everybody, I don't know that I've ever been told no when I've asked for something. It might be like, we need to modify this or whatever. But the word no has never come from the booster club for my team. I also do powerlifting, and oh my God, we would not have had a season our first year without the booster club. They dropped multiple thousands of dollars for our kids to have equipment so that they could compete, because without the gear, we just don't compete. Doesn't matter how strong you are. So I'm gonna say same thing Gary did. If you're sitting here and you're wondering if you should join. Not just for your money. I tell our parents all the time that yes, they need your membership, they need the numbers, but they need involvement. It's the same people, doing a lot. And at some point, I assume their children will graduate and they will move on. And they could, I'm sure, use like help, numbers, people. It's what I stress to our parents a lot, like just try to get involved, find a way to do that, and not just show it at the meetings. But anyway, we were just recently at Southern Methodist, SMU is what I want to say. Anyway, we went to a team camp, and I got the most amazing email that my wish list had really been filled. So we were excited to get some equipment and some things that we had asked for our program. It'll help being part of the team camp fees. What would have cost our parents $425 each was dropped down to $200 per parent for the kids that came because of the support that the Booster Club gave us for that. But volleyball-wise, we went and competed at SMU against volleyball schools from Texas, one from Arkansas. I don't know if you know anything about volleyball, but like in Texas, it's legit. And we were at SMU, and the court coaches, like assigned to your team, were professional volleyball players, were college coaches, whatever. Somehow we drew the short end of the stick, and we had probably the most inexperienced coach there. I guess probably because we were from Louisiana and we had nerves to go to Texas, I don't know. But we took our varsity this year, and I thought they had a chance to really bond and spend some time together and obviously compete. And was satisfied with the way in which we competed. That probably is not always our biggest focus there. But they were able to spend some time together and get a little bit more comfortable with each other on the court. You guys, I had like 70 kids try out for volleyball, and we cut that down to 32 kids. And 32 might be the smallest team I've ever carried. Like, we felt like we needed a little bit more manageable numbers, and that's kind of where we cut it off out of 70 kids that wanted to be a part of something. And in my humble opinion, part of something special. We're working really hard to make our program something that all the kids want to be a part of. We just can't keep them all, right? But the kids that we do have, we're really excited about. We have 2 seniors coming back, and then I don't even know, y'all. I can't give y'all numbers, how many juniors and all of that. But we did trim some numbers, some returners. We didn't keep, unfortunately. But this is our theme for the whole season. We're to state and beyond. We made it to the first round of the playoffs this past season. We walked out of that gym again. If you know anything about volleyball, we played out Mount Carmel, who is in the quarterfinals every year, competing for a state title every single year. And before the match, I was talking to the coach, and she was like, "Yeah, we're gonna need to schedule y'all in a couple of years." And like, "Yeah, that sounds good." And when we finished the match, she came over to me and she said, "Hey, like, can we schedule y'all next year? Like, and we'll come to you." Like, absolutely, come on. And then I've been really inundated with like the caliber of teams that want to play us. I've just turned down Country Day, who is an 18-year-in-a-row state champion. Obviously our program is doing something. It's making a name for itself, and like, I'm gonna put that on our kids. They show up every day and they work, and they are working to prove who we are this year. I laid it on a little heavy with our schedule. We have quarterfinalists, state champions, state runner-ups. Like, that's pretty much who we're playing. But when we get to that playoff time, we're gonna be ready to handle business. I think our kids believe it, and we're really, really excited about the direction we're moving. We were able to have our first practice today, after a 2-week little break. And, I mean, they came in and feel like we got a lot of good work done, and said, well, I hate making predictions, but I'm telling y'all, we're coming after district. Like, other coaches in our district are making comments, right? Like, we're coming hard, and they know it. Our kids are excited, and you know, as coaches, we're super excited. So come out and watch a game for 7, possibly 8 home games. We do host an official scrimmage this year. The officials just practice, but that is also the day of casino night. So if you're bored that morning, you can watch volleyball, get casino night that evening. And then for the Dutchtown tournament, we actually host here. We're one of his host sites, so we have a few more things on. But yeah, we're really excited about our season, in all honesty. And if you can come and catch a game or two, you're gonna see some great competition, whether we win or lose. And when we get to those playoffs, we're gonna be ready. So, thank you.
Coaches, thank y'all so much for coming out. I appreciate you. I appreciate you giving it your time. All right. Okay, we're gonna move on to finances. I'm gonna have Ruby Davis, who's our treasurer, come up and speak. One of the things, again, if you're new to the Booster Club, that we really want to make sure that we try to hit the mark on is transparency with you as far as the money we're taking in, where we're spending it, how we're spending it, right? Because we have been very, very successful these first couple of years in fundraising. Again, if you're new, the first time we met with Coach Schmidt, the AD, who, by the way, football is having to practice in the evenings right now, so they could not be here to speak tonight. But when I was talking to Coach Schmidt, he said, man, it would be great if we could just raise like $50,000. I think the Booster Club at this point has raised easily over $500,000. Ruby's shaking her head at me, yeah. And we're pumping all of that back into the programs, the kids. And so it is a lot of work, but it has been fantastic to see the support from members in the community. So again, the goal here is to try to be as transparent with you as possible. So at every meeting, we try to give you an update on, hey, this is how our finances are tracking and what we're doing. So Ruby, it's all you. And I'm just going to leave this up here to bully y'all into signing up.
Yeah, you have to bear with me. They stole my glasses, so I can't see far either. So we're not doing good today. So, as far as the finances go, we had just between January and August 3rd, we had a little over almost $16,000 in membership fees. We've raised a little over $55,000 in corporate sponsorships. The hub has sold a little over $69,000 worth of merchandise. And fundraising, we've got, and the fundraising is ad sales, Spring Fest, things like that fell into that time period. The parking sales, those kind of things is fundraising, and that is the 37.5. we've got in that. So our total income's been about $189,000 just since the beginning of the year. Expenses, we've had various, professional fees, our accountants, our marketing and advertising for the website, corporate expenses. We've got total expenses of about $88,000, and that includes the program expenses for the items that we purchase for the teams. So when the teams bring us our wish list and we approve it, we put it in a program expense account. And for program expenses, so far we've spent about almost $54,000 on the teams since the beginning of the year. We've got about $303,000 in the account, but right at 167 belongs to the teams. For those of you who don't know, each team maintains an account within our account system, but it's designated for their team. And we take that out, can't use that, that's just for that team. So we go through that. Flopping around everywhere here. We always like to keep a $20,000 reserve. So right now we have available about $117,000 right now left that we can spend on the teams, which I think after the approvals, we're doing a good job of spending that money, just so we can say it. But things that we've approved so far this year, we've got football has not asked us for anything over the last 2 years. The only thing they got for us to do was for the equipment room, the workout room, and that was for everybody basically. So this is the first year football's come in with some requests. So we've approved some of their items and in the process of purchasing those for them. Dance came in and asked us to help with some of the new uniforms they've got. So we did that along with some of their game day items, such as the headphones and the game bags. Swimming, we're going to help them with their pool fees, and we purchased their swim caps for them. Cross country, we helped them with entry fees.
Jerseys.
Jerseys. Okay, and jerseys. Volleyball, like Shannon said, we've got a volleyball target, a setter. I don't know what some of this stuff is, but we got a lot of stuff, and we're helping with the camps. I don't know. Tennis, we did some approvals, even though they're spring sport, we did do some approvals for them already. Fishing, what did we do? I didn't have them down. Jerseys, we bought jerseys for the fishing team because they're all year round. And just to let you know what we've done over the last year, things we bought, Sports Med, we helped them with their uniforms. For cheerleading, we bought signs and flags for competition team, mats for the cheerleaders, and assistance with the bus that brought them to nationals. Dance, we bought game day cake bags, headphones, iPad, mini speaker, tumbling mats. Fishing, again, we got them some jerseys. Their team multiplied, which is why they needed more jerseys this year. And we got them some shirts. Football, we did help with the coaches golf tourney when they were away at a camp. Swimming, we did the pool fees again, some towels and some bags. Cross country, we bought morning race jackets for them, and we helped with a team bonding event. And volleyball, we assisted with their camp fees again last year. Basketball, boys basketball, we helped with entry fees for the Hall of Fame game, and we bought gym floor runners. For girls basketball, we had tournament fees and a portion of their tournament shirts. Girls soccer, we bought team backpacks and white jerseys. Boys soccer, we got them some golds. Wrestling, we bought some of their singlets. I don't know their uniforms. Resistance band and wall anchors and some score clocks. Powerlifting, we got knee wraps, wrist wraps, belts, and some more of their uniforms. That word I can't say. Track, we bought them a 13-foot pole. And golf, we got golf bags. I couldn't find tennis, but I know we bought tennis stuff. And softball, we got them some Rhapsody technology, some kind of technology thing.
Rhapsody. Yeah.
Baseball, we got them a pitching and defense machine. Bowling, we paid their LHSAA fees and got them some uniform shirts. Gymnastics, we bought uniforms and some meet fees. And we pay for every sport, we buy their Letterman jackets. The base cost of the Letterman jacket, anything special goes back to the parent, but we pay the $89. We did for the first 2 years pay for the senior banners. This year, we're letting that go back to the teams to be responsible for, just because they're about as expensive as the Letterman jackets. And with the upcoming kids getting the Letterman jackets, that's a hefty expense. And we do pay for the huddle. system. I don't know if all of y'all are aware of what that is, that where you can watch the games and see and all that. It's about almost $12,000 a year that we pay for all the teams to use. Any
Dan?
questions?
Nope, good to go.
right.
Thanks, Ruby. So look, this is one of those things too, if you end up having questions, like you can always reach out to Ruby directly. You can talk to any of us about what we're spending the money on. Like Ruby said, there are things that are generic in nature that serve the entire kind of athletic community. The Huddle subscription for $12,000, the Letterman's jackets is going to continue to be an increasing cost. I mean, that was $13,000, $14,000 this year. You can imagine what it will be once we get, you know, a year or 2 years down the road. So again, we're letting you know these things because again, that is where your money's going. That's where the businesses who sponsor this school, that is where their money is going, right? To support all of those efforts. Yes, ma'am.
Last year, we spent almost $118,000 on the teams. And so far this year, we're at $54,000. So
Right.
on track to possibly beat that.
Yeah, Scott can't raise money fast enough. So the other thing we did last year too was we were able to roll out a new system with coaches called Crowded. It's a solution that we needed to come up with because the parish went cashless. And so when coaches travel, when coaches need to buy things, instead of them having to come through the checks and balances process, and I'm not saying they get to skip that, it is a more accessible and easier moment for coaches to be able to purchase the things that they need and still have a quality check with the Booster Club, but it allows them access to funds that they raise. It sits on a debit card, just like you would think. They make requests to the Booster Club and that money's moved over and they can kind of operate as they see fit. So we're actually really proud of that because in a pinch, we had to come up with something that was a meaningful solution and that was it. So no, that's perfect. Okay. A couple of things before Mike Anderson's rolls out. So on September 11th is our first varsity football game. Like I said, the Booster Club is going to be hosting its first hospitality event. Mike Anderson's is going to come out and they will do char-grilled oysters. They'll do fried fish, like I said. We typically do it 5:30 to 7 out in front of the stadium. We'll set up 3 big tents. Kathy, once we get everything together, we'll go ahead and we'll send out an e-ticket through Zephy, or we'll send an email out. That way you as a Cat 3 or better can attend the hospitality event. It really is a great way for us to bring everybody together. It's a cool event. We try to do these tailgates throughout the year. So be on the lookout for that. That is something cool that's going to be coming up. The other thing that we've got coming up, if you want to mark your calendars, if you're a fall sport parent, we're doing Meet the Hurricanes for the fall sports. It's going to be August 25th. It's going to be in the gym and it will start at 6 o'clock. If you haven't been or you didn't get a chance to come last year, it was a really, really great thing. These kids work so hard, and so it's a chance for them to come out in front of a huge crowd of parents and families and friends. Coaches introduce them. They get to talk about their teams and stuff. So please be on the lookout for that. Absolutely come. Tell everybody you can. It's a great way to, like I said, support these kids. That's August 25th in the gym, 6 to 7:30. Okay. Rolling right along. Okay. So you've probably seen and are sick of seeing Facebook posts about it and all kinds of things, the casino night that we are hosting. So this casino night is a few years in the making. It is supposed to be the Booster Club's largest fundraiser of the year. That's the goal, right? We talked about all the things just now that the Booster Club is paying for, like Letterman's jackets and huddle fees and LHSAA fees and equipment and everything. It takes a lot to be able to do that. And so while we do a bunch of little things like VIP parking and things like that and membership to raise money, we really are targeting 2 big fundraisers of the year, and this is one of them. So it's coming up. It's August 15th. It's at the Pace Center in Gonzales over there. There are a host of things going on that night. It is real casino table games. So it's craps and blackjack and roulette and all those things. There's real dealers there. There will be a bourbon toss. There will be a wine pool. There will be horse racing. All of the money raised, again, is in an effort to put it right back to the team. So the way it's going to work is this. A, you have to buy a ticket. So buy a ticket. 2, because it is charitable gaming, right? The Booster Club last year got a charitable gaming license, okay, which allows us to put things like this on, and I'll talk about that a little bit later in the meeting. But basically the way it'll work is you'll come in that night, with your ticket, you get dinner, you get an open bar, and you get $500 in chips to start playing, okay? Anything you win that night, at the end of the night, you will be able to cash your chips in for raffle tickets. Those raffle tickets, there will be a multitude of raffle prizes out for you to be able to drop those tickets in to win those prizes. That is the way. If we could have a cashier and pay you money, I'm sure you would like that. But that's the way we have to do it with a casino night when it's a nonprofit charitable gaming. So the other thing we are doing, and some of the items you see listed up right here, we're also going to have a silent auction that night. A company called Pro Dreams is going to be coming out and putting out a bunch of sports memorabilia and cool items for the silent auction. And then these are some of the things that will be auctioned off in the live auction that night. Again, we absolutely need the support. Right now, with everybody coming back to school, it was kind of a slow push for the casino night, but I'm going to let Michael and Russ, y'all can come up here. You can talk about just what the numbers look like and how we're doing. We've got a lot of the teams involved because they are bringing forward those raffle items that you can win at the end of the night. The teams are joining in and donating the bourbon and the wine. If any team gets better than 50% participation from their parents based on their roster count, 100% of those ticket sales go back to those teams. So we tried to set it up in a way where there is a good incentive for the teams to make money off of this. If they bring forward any of these auction items, for example, football brought forward that ATV, they get 100% of whatever that ATV sells for in the live auction on the 15th, okay? If you are a parent of a team, like the raffle items are kind of what we ask the team to do, but really some impactful things are those silent and live auction items that the teams bring forward. My friend Rain is there right there. She donated a CrossFit package, right? Whatever that sells for, right? Powerlifting is going to get 100% of that. People have brought forward bourbon packages and all kinds of things, pots and grills and everything. So that is where these teams can really, really see the impact of this. And we've asked them to support. It's not mandatory for them. We realize it's a heavy lift, but what we really need right now is general admission tickets. So Michael, don't walk away. You can come here. All right. So Michael Pinchero, who is one of our executive board members, was kind enough to take the point on casino night. It has been a a very big undertaking. And he's done a fantastic job with it. And I'm going to have him give you just an update about where we're at and then collecting some of those items. So.
Yeah, okay, so, right now, they sold, as far as individual tickets, about 100 tickets. That we sold, I want to say 8 tables. Those are sponsorships, and with those tables, they each get 8 seats and tickets to whoever. Some of the things, I guess, Kyle was talking about, each of the teams has a theme, and I'm sure maybe most of you already know about that. But they're donating, putting together baskets or whatever the case may be. Does this work better?
No.
Just hang on to it.
Yeah.
New guy stuff. I think he's just messing with me. Yeah, so you know, each of the teams got together. They're bringing stuff together. That's some of which you'll be able to bid on that night. What else?
Pickups.
Pickups. Okay, yeah. So I will be here this. I'll be in the parking lot by the stadium this Thursday, picking up any donations that anybody wants to drop off. It'll be from about 5:15 until people stop showing up. I'll try to stay there an hour or two. If you're going to be there and you're going to be later than say 6:30, shoot me a text or find me on Facebook and let me know. So far, I mean, things are starting to come in. Like Kyle said, it was really difficult throughout the summer to get, first of all, get in touch with everybody and then explain what we're trying to do here. So the key is we want to build enough excitement in this first one that it kind of just takes care of itself going forward. I think we're going to talk about some options for getting ahead of it and not doing all of this next summer for next year. So be looking out for that at different events. We'll keep you guys posted as things progress. But yeah, for the most part, that's it. Like I said, this Thursday, 5:15, right over here. And if for some reason you can't make it, but you have something to donate or drop off, find a way to get in touch with me. I'm on, my contact information is on the Booster website, right?
Which one is he? He's PVH.
PVHS.org. Yeah.
There you go.
And so you can reach me there and I'll do something to coordinate. I live 3 minutes from here, so worst case scenario, you can drop it off at my house. I got a room that's collecting a lot of these donations as it is. So.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Yep.
Yes, sir. Does anybody have any questions? Oh, there they go.
I know you're talking about the amount that each team gets if they know such percentage, you know, if they're roster for this. That has not really been relayed to many of the team parents because I heard a parent talk about that they didn't want to count them 10% and be going to that.
Okay.
I know that's
Okay,
information.
that's a great point.
So
Again,
like just getting the word out, like, hey, if we can get 10 more tickets for our team, then we can get 100% of the profit. Like,
What sport are you with?
which sport?
it was volleyball.
Oh.
It was volleyball like that.
So again, the first year, a lot of lessons learned as we go through this. We're kind of showing as we go.
Volleyball at 57%.
Yeah, volleyball's good. Volleyball's good. But let me go ahead and explain this to everybody.
Right.
Oh, yeah, understood. So to answer that question first, if your team participates and gets the donations and the baskets and stuff, they automatically get 10% of the ticket sales at the door. So let me back up. When you go on to buy your ticket or somebody goes on to buy a ticket, you'll check either general fund or a sport. So say I pick volleyball. My ticket sale, 10% of that goes to volleyball. Now, what we've done to incentivize people to participate is if your team, and we go by roster to make it fair, if your team, let's say a team has 100 kids on the roster, if you get 50% of that in ticket sales, so if you can find 50 people to buy a ticket to the event, then your team gets 100% ticket sales for anything that has been marked volleyball or whatever your team is. So if they sell, if they sell 1,000 tickets, then they're going to get 100% of those ticket sales to their team. So thank you for bringing that up. If you have questions like that, your coaches should know, and they were supposed to help us out by identifying a point of contact. That's kind of what we've been trying to do. Next year, we're gonna come up with a better way to do this, and we can streamline it a little more. So I apologize for the lack of communication. Again, if you have questions that we don't answer tonight or something pops up during the week, give me a call or track me down, and I'll be happy to answer it for you.
You know, to clarify that, it's not just like parents.
Yeah,
It's not even.
it's not parents, it's not just parents or ticket sales, it's ticket sales, you know, total, right? So, if your team sells to everybody in the neighborhood, now they sold 200 tickets, guess what? Your team gets 100%, there's 200 tickets sold. Make sense?
Other,
So it goes by roster, what's your team? Tennis?
And it's whatever last
What's the total roster?
5 out of 35, right?
So they got 35 on the roster, 5 tickets have been sold in tennis. 50% of the 35, so
They need about 13.
Yeah, 13 more tickets. Maybe credit. And the coaches know this, we sent this information out to them. I just think a lot of them right now have been asked to do so much and focus on different fundraising and stuff, it's kind of hard to get information out there, especially as over the summer. And again, they don't know who their, some of them don't even know who their roster is going to be this year.
On the table sales, like if somebody sells a sponsorship, those tickets go towards their minimum, but the sponsorship still is.
I got it.
Yeah, you've been doing it.
Yeah, I got it.
Just to make sure that everybody's.
So the question was, if you have a person, right, who or a business, you have a business sponsorship, right? I'm going to use Sam as an example. So if Epic, right, buys a table as a sponsor, well, 8 tickets come with that table, right? So if he chooses baseball to support, well, then baseball gets credit for 8 seats, right? Now, they don't get the dollars associated with those seats, but it goes towards furthering that sport to get to their threshold faster. Does that make sense? Okay. Yeah, what you got? Okay. And look, this is the first year, right? So it's always the hardest starting something the first year. That's just the way it goes. So the lessons learned, all the things that Michael's talking about and getting this off the ground, it'll be better the next year and better the next year after that. But if you want to know anything, the one thing that Michael omitted was we asked the coaches to designate a point of contact for every sport. So that is either a person or the coach themselves, right? So every sport that is participating has a point of contact, and they are in regular communication with Michael where he is updating the teams about their ticket sales, where their sport stands, where they are benefiting, et cetera, et cetera. So we're trying to be as communicative as possible. So any other questions? Yeah.
I would say, so real quick, when it comes to points of contact, like you said, each team has a point of contact. Some of them, it was left open to them to handle how they wanted to handle things. So some of them just said, look, I got it under control, talk to the coach, and they did everything themselves. And then some said, okay, I'll reach out to the parents. So that's one of the things that we're going to try to coach and report whatever way works best next year. But that's why you may or may not have heard. So it's a good idea. That's kind of what I was getting at. Check with your coach, see what he has or she has planned, and maybe they put you in touch with the POC and they tell you they've already got it covered. But if not, you should know who to go to.
Yes, ma'am.
So for this, is this the dress code a casual event, like a polo and jeans?
You have to come in a ball gown.
Okay, yeah, so like black tie.
Yeah, no, it is, it's cocktail attire, right? So, you know, for a guy, for
Maybe on the ticket.
I think in the most, so cocktail means different things to different people. So like if I'm a guy, right, like that's jeans and a button up, right? If you want to wear a sports coat, you can wear a sports coat. I'm not even going to speculate what cocktail is for ladies. There we go, elevated. So, but it is not black tie. So we'll keep that. There you go. Right. Yeah. Like there's not going to be a bouncer there kicking you out for like flip flops. So, but again, you want to kind of keep the ambiance and the theme and all those things like that. I think it really will be a cool night. I think when people walk in there and you see the games going and you got dealers and all of those things, I think what the goal. Yeah, live DJ. There's a photo booth there. There's a guy doing caricatures. I think what we all hope is that people walk away from this fundraiser and go, man, I want that on my calendar next year. I want this to be the thing that we do next year. So that's the goal. And we hope it's a success. It can't be a success though if you don't attend. So please get a ticket. I'm going to put this next one up. Here's the deal. So what we really wanted to strive for was an event that you could come to and you didn't necessarily have to volunteer for. But I did have some parents say, hey, I'm looking for opportunities to volunteer. Maybe it's part of an organization that they're doing or whatnot. But if you are interested in volunteering, you certainly can go to this QR code right here and you can volunteer for the night. That can be checkout, that can be check-in, selling more chips during the night, raffle tickets during the night. I mean, the ring toss stations, like that kind of stuff. We were fortunate enough to get a bunch of volunteers from Rotary to come in and volunteer. We're in talks right now with Volunteer Ascension because Volunteer Ascension is actually doing a casino night 1 month after us. So we said, what better way than to see how you should do it than come volunteer at ours. So whether, well, we'll see. So anyway, but I put this up here. If you're interested and you want to volunteer, this is a way you can do it. So again, support. Please tell all your friends. It would be fantastic. Okay. I'm just going to leave this up here to, again, bully y'all. Okay, so like I said a second ago, the casino night is possible because the Booster Club was able to get a charitable gaming license. And one of the things, or a few of the things that the charitable gaming license allows, and this could be really, really impactful for every sport, is it gives sports specifically the ability to do things like true 50-50 raffles and host bingo nights, okay? Now, as you can imagine, the charitable gaming license was secured through the Louisiana Department of Revenue, who you don't want to mess with. But the main thing that I want you to remember, if you're associated with a sport and you're interested in putting on a 50-50 raffle or hosting a bingo night as a way to raise money for your sport, you really just need to give us a heads up about 2 weeks in advance of your event, because what I have to do is I have to report the event to the Louisiana Department of Revenue and put it on a schedule of events that ultimately we report on quarterly. Okay. So if you are interested in hosting something like that, you can reach out and contact us. I have a part to play. Ruby, our treasurer, needs to know what's going on. We need to talk about how the money's going to come in, all of those things. But this is something we weren't able to do the first 2 years. And so having the ability to host these things at various events or put on a bingo night here or something like that, it could be a really great thing for a team. So if that's something you're interested in, you can let us know or send us an email. Anybody got any questions about that? Nope. Okay, moving right along. All right. Dale's not here. He would be happy I put this picture up of him. Okay, so FEMA is, again, if you're new, it stands for Feeding Every Motivated Athlete. Jerome Douay, one of our board members, actually came up with that, even though I try to take credit for it for years. So FEMA gets involved in a host of things every year. Greg Hillensbeck, who's back there, really does a lot for FEMA as far as coordinating and showing up and cooking the Friday night jambalaya for football games. Anytime a team asks us to cook jambalaya, pastalaya, gumbos, anything to do with one of these big pots, FEMA shows up. We also last year were able to purchase like a big commercial fish fryer. So we came out for baseball and we did back-to-back days of frying 60, 70 pounds of fish to feed kids who were coming to play in a tournament that weekend. FEMA does early morning breakfasts. We were out here this morning at 5 a.m. and we cooked for all 120 teachers. It's a great organization that does a lot for giving back to the school, to the kids, to the teams. If you are somebody who, hey, you can't give the money, but you have the time to give, this is a fantastic way to get involved. You can hit this QR code. It'll take you to a Google Doc, right? And you can sign up for FEMA. If you have any questions, again, Greg Hillensbeck, who's in the back of the room right there, or myself, we can answer any questions about that. I did put the note up there. FEMA right now has about 25 members. And because a lot of what we cook is like jambalayas, pastalayas, stuff like that, over the last couple of years, I've probably heard more people not want to join FEMA because they were scared to mess up a big jambalaya or a pastalaya or a gumbo or something like that. And if you've never cooked in a pot like that, maybe it's intimidating. So Greg and myself, mainly Greg, are going to host a cooking class where if you're interested in learning how to cook a jambalaya like this, we're going to do it August 26th. We're going to do it here at the gym or on the grounds right here. And we're going to show everybody how to cook. This day is going to be jambalaya. After we're done cooking, the volleyball team is holding a jamboree here in the gym. So we're going to donate that food to volleyball and let them sell it that night. So it's kind of a win-win. And it'll be a fun way for you to kind of get involved. But I promise if you show up, like, we're not going to put you mission critical on the rice. But we'll definitely teach you. I need to get with Coach Chan on the time, but if you are interested in something like that, again, we'll put out something letting you know the time. Again, the location will be right here at the gym, but that is going to be the date for it. So any questions about FEMA? No? No? I see you taking pictures. All right. Yeah.
So I just signed up for the Booster Club. Is there like another platform that y'all communicate, or is it everything?
So we communicate a handful of ways, right? To Michael's dismay. So many ways. So we do things via email, right? Kevin, we still have Remind? Yep, there you go. See? We have Remind. We've got an Instagram page. What else? Facebook. I mean, Facebook is like the primary way. What you got? Yeah. So there are probably about 4 or 5 different platforms that you can get Booster Club information about. If you get into some of like the smaller groups like a FEMA, or you get in with the Hub, like those groups have small group meet communications, which is typically how everybody communicates. So,
I think we are looking to try to, so social media is one way of getting it out to the public. I don't need that, right? But for our members, and it's something Kathy and I are working on, we're trying to get a more centralized communication system where you know where it's coming from, where like it's newsletters and things like that. You keep more, and you know where it's from. More information.
can I answer your question? Good. Okay. The last thing I'm going to tell you is the Booster Club also organizes a lot of hospitality events where our restaurant partners like Mike Anderson's or Galvez Seafood or Small Sliders or Raising Cane's provide food for teams. A lot of our partnerships with these groups, they've given money, but they've also agreed to a lot of donations in kind. And so we try to spread that out over the years. So the biggest thing we ask for in that, if you're a part of a team and you want to utilize that particular type of moment, just give us enough heads up. Usually a couple weeks notice is plenty of runway for us to be able to get with those restaurants and ask them, hey, this is what we're trying to do. This is how many kids we're trying to feed. But they did a great job these last 2 years, and I expect to continue, which is a great segue into one of my last topics, which is my man, Scott. Scott D'Antonio runs our business operations here. He is the person who's going out and talking to all the businesses in the community, getting them involved in the school, getting them to sponsor. And so we say all the time, when you see those signs around the school, when you're coming through carpool or you're at the stadiums, those are the businesses you should be supporting. They are giving their money, their time to invest in the school and the kids, and we really want to reciprocate that moment so they keep coming back. So it's got to give you an update.
Before I start, I know I do have Mike Anderson is here in the back, and thank you. I know Southern Circuit has been a sponsor of ours for 3 years now. This year, electrician, he does like Chris's work in my house. I would recommend him support his business. Hathaways, their new sponsor this year, United Restoration. Very good. Anybody else? Reform Fitness.
Kelly.
Billy Printing.
Kelly Pest Control.
Kelly Pest Control. So we know all these businesses now. We have contacts. This is year 3. You know, I think I'm not a salesman by trade, so the school has obviously been a very, very easy sell here for the last few years. I can speak for all the people at this table. Very passionate about the school. We want the success. We want all our teams to win. That's our goals here. So in terms of sponsors, I think we're doing really well. We're proud of our facilities. We get a lot of compliments. We want our signs. We want everything to look top tier for all that. I know from my perspective, my daughter plays soccer. And I had a coach here in town who once said, man, I'm tired of hearing you talk about Fayetteville High School. We didn't speak for 6 months. And, you know, that's just what we do. We're passionate about this. In terms of our sponsors, you know, the big sponsors that we have, they want to be here for years. They're on our scoreboards. And, you know, if anybody needs signage or anything, that's what we're offering. Help on stage. You don't realize how much activity there really is here at Fayetteville High School. We've learned this over the years. I mean, once football season starts, there's somebody here for 9th grade, JV, and then the local leagues are playing here on the weekends. Then you get into soccer. There's soccer almost every night of the week. And then graduation, probably next year will be outside. There's so much advertising opportunity. Same thing with our gym. Our gym has so much going on in it that you don't realize every night of the week. So that's kind of what we're promoting. When we talk to people, there's nothing that's really concrete. I can tell you we went to Southside last year for our football playoff game. We saw a few things we liked. You know, they had an official red zone sponsor. We're looking at that. If you want to sponsor touchdowns, extra points, it's all for sale. So, anything we can do to try to get those, you've seen the money we're investing in the school and what we're going out. It's all part of being successful. And so that's our goals. That's what we're trying to do. If you have a business, you have some money, reach out to me and Kyle. Be glad to talk to them. We trade food, we trade services, whatever we can. We've got big nights with football. I'll tell you this, football is a big event. We've got sponsors. Chick-fil-A will be a sponsor for one of our games. Small Sliders will sponsor one of our games. Community Coffee will sponsor one of our games. And then we'll have Mike Anderson's out for a tailgate. So those are big events. We want everybody involved. And we'll go through the rest of the year with success. So thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, buddy. Yes, ma'am.
One thing we haven't mentioned, we talked about the 22 sports that we sponsor, we have to donate to all year long, but we also give back to the school itself. A percentage of all of our cash donations, so like I know some of our sponsors do half cash, half, proceeds, food, whatever. So if they give us $5,000 of cash, whatever cash we take in from our category sponsors, we give a percentage to the school itself. So we're not only supporting the athletes, we're supporting all the students, because those that the school uses it for different things for the teachers and for the school and for the students throughout the year.
Yeah.
We hadn't mentioned that stuff.
No, it's a great point. And here's the thing is that the school, to my knowledge, doesn't give the teams any money, right? They don't give they're not out there actively like fundraising for these teams, for these student athletes. And so the Booster Club really does become a primary way that we're able to go above and beyond and help the kids, but also help the school, just like Ruby's talking about. So I know there's a lot of information up there on that. Really, I just wanted you to look at the QR code. If you're a business that is interested in getting involved, this will take you to the site through Zephy, and it'll kind of lay out all the things that you can get as a perk. And again, when you see those businesses that are on the scoreboards, I mean, those are $10,000 packages, right? But equally as important are all the signs you see around the school, right? It doesn't work without them. So like I said, please make sure you get out there and support those businesses. Anybody got, yes, ma'am.
Is there like a deadline for those?
Mm-mm.
Like, to be able to put the signs up or whatever, if there's no deadline?
Nope. Yeah, no deadline. People come in all the time at different points in the year. The one thing I would tell you, if you do baseball, softball signs that are back there, if you walk down Thunder Road right there, those signs go up right around Christmas time, and then we leave them up all the way, through the remainder of the year and into the beginning of the school year. So, okay. All right. The last thing that I would go back here real quick so you can join. So the last thing that I would tell you is game day operations during the fall for football, like I mentioned, is a way that teams can sign up and they can earn money by working a handful of things that go on during football games. One of them is the VIP parking that I mentioned. So we'll have parking attendants who will kind of direct traffic. We'll also need people to sell program books. Program books is another thing. There is still, Kim, plenty of opportunities. If you have a kid and you want to add in the program book, or you're a business and you want to be in the football program book, you can get with Kim Hendricks right here and she can help you out. You can raise your hand again. So there you go. Program books is one, and then FEMA. Like I said, FEMA cooks. If there's cleanup associated with FEMA, if we happen to be cooking on site, then we'll have you help with setup or cleanup. The other thing, and Russ, I'm going to have you help with this. Last year, the Booster Club purchased a golf cart with a primary intention of being able to transport people down Thunder Road. If you haven't had the pleasure of walking down Thunder Road, it can be a hike. And so there's a lot of folks who are disabled, they're handicapped, or whatever the case may be. Maybe they just don't feel like making the walk. We used it as a test run during softball and baseball, and it worked out fantastic. And we were able to pick people up right there at the gates, transport them down to the fields, and it would run about, I know baseball did it a little bit different, right? Dee Dee, y'all started.
We did it like an hour before.
Yep.
And after.
Yep.
But we only did it for varsity games.
Yep. Softball did the same thing. We only did it for varsity games. And so we did a half hour before the start and then a half hour after. And that was kind of a test run. So we're going to use it this year for football and transporting people down Thunder Road and getting into the stadium. So if you are interested in driving the golf cart, and volunteering as part of that, there are a few things that you have to do. You have to be a Booster Club member because the golf cart is insured in the name of the Booster Club. So God forbid something happens, it has to be a Booster Club member that is driving. You need to actually go on, Russ, and you can sign up, right? Sign a waiver.
So I don't know if he's got a slide for it, but
I
if you
don't.
go to our website.
Yep.
There's under committees, there's a link for transportation, and you go under there, there'll be a button that'll take you to a Google form. It's really simple. You just give us your name, driver's license, date of birth, and that just allows us to kind of have something on record showing you have a valid driver's license. And, like you said, it's just under liability of the Booster Club. You'll be able to help us out, whether it's football, baseball, track, whatever it is.
Any sport. Yep. So we thought this was like a really cool initiative. Again, there's a lot of things going on, like Scott mentioned, on game days, right? So transporting people was one, but then also we're moving a lot of stuff for various concession stands and ice and drinks and food and all kinds of stuff. And so it also allows us to not be hiking kind of all over the place on game days, but transportation is the primary reason. And so, again, that is part of what will make up kind of game day operations. So if you are a part of a sport that's interested in handling one of the 5 games, you can reach out to Kim Hendricks and she can kind of point you in the right direction on that. So told myself I was gonna be done at 7:30. So Jeremy, what you got? Yep. Kim, why don't you, so I don't mess it up, he's asking about middle school football. Yes, ma'am.
On the football, the $100 pass.
Mhm.
How do you distinguish that you have that parking? Is there gonna be a hang tag or something?
So have you purchased it already? Okay, so when you purchase the VIP parking, it's gonna give you the key ticket, kind of like we had for the event.
Oh, no.
Simply keep that on the dashboard, they'll be able to see.
Middle school.
So we did that last year.
Jeremy in the back asked about middle school football and just how the concessions are going to work and teams getting an opportunity to volunteer.
Any of the spots in that 40 roped off area.
How many people out there working at that?
Yeah, so that's what he's talking about is it's another volunteer opportunity for teams. And we try to lean on teams that don't have concessions, don't have gates, right? It gives them an opportunity to just have another way of bringing in some revenue.
None of that money is gonna be held in the Booster Club. It's all, at the end of the season, whatever is made in those parking spots will all get paid back to whatever team is working those.
And the people will be out there between like 5:30 and 7:30 to make sure, because some people will be late coming in, to make sure everybody gets their spots, and after that, then it's free game pretty much for the opening area.
Yep.
So if you're not here by 7:30, you don't get.
Well, I mean,
Kickoff's at 7, so.
the game starts at 7, so we're saying 7:30, most people will be here by then, not to miss the first quarter of the football game, so.
I had it last year, like I was pulling up at 7:15.
Oh.
It was great.
But we're trying, last year, I think a lot of them left at 7, but this year, I'm expanding the time to 7:30 to make sure people who are late coming in have the chance to get their parking spot. And with the program books, we may be doing online ordering, so what you would have to do is probably just hand the books out to the people who have bought them ahead of time. And we'll only have like 50 books probably to sell actually there at the game. And then clean up for FEMA what time do they get done cooking?
Usually we're done, we
Yeah.
try to be done by 6:15, 6:30.
Yeah.
So we have cleanup with that, so if they're done by 7, so most should be there, it's like from 5:30 to 7:30 for Friday night ones. Now, for our middle school concessions, we have the Jamboree here, which will be a Wednesday night. The rest of the games will be Thursday nights, we have 9 of them. And what we'll have is each team I've sent out emails to all the coaches, and they can, bring their, either athletes and parents, we need a couple parents in there, to work the concession stands. And, they're only selling pizza, chips, Johnny Freeze and stuff like that, and they don't have to cook for the, middle school games. But last year it averaged out to be about $1,200 a game. So each sport that works it, I don't know what this year will be, but we take all the money from all 9 games. At the end of the season, we divide it by the games, and however many times your team work, you get that portion of it. But like I said, we try to give it to the ones that don't have a gate or concession stands, but, like cheerleaders, dance, golf, bowling,
Yeah, tennis.
swim, all those. We try to give it to those first, but I mean, if some of the other ones want to work it, I'll put them down. We'll see what happens.
When are the JV games?
JV games are usually Tuesday nights. And the concessions there are supposed to be worked by the parents. For football, right? For football.
Jeremy, that answer your question? Is that what you're asking about? Okay. Good deal. Okay. Anybody got any questions? Okay. Ma'am.
One thing, I don't know if you mentioned it, but I wanted to.
Sure.
Did you mention the Meet the Hurricanes date?
I did. So just again, her question was about Meet the Hurricanes. Again, that's going to be 8/25, August 25th at 6 o'clock in the gym. And again, that will be fall sports. And then a few months later, end of October-ish, we'll do winter. And then right there, after we come back, we'll typically do all our spring sports. So again, I know this was a lot of information. I really thank you. I know you got a ton of places you could be tonight. And so we appreciate you spending it with us, coming out, hearing what we've got going on. Hopefully you enjoyed the food from Mike Anderson's. We'll give you an update in a month or so about when our next quarterly meeting will be. Again, we'll have dinner that night. We'll give you updates. We'll have other coaches come out. We'll be able to report on how casino night went and just kind of how we're coming through the fall. So appreciate your time tonight. If you have any questions whatsoever, just let us know. We're happy to answer anything you got. But y'all have a great night and be safe going home. Good job, fella.